Come on in. Let's go, Earl. I see you with the digs on. I see you. We got some breaking news, my brother.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. Joe Flacco has been traded to the Cincinnati Bengals in an in-division rival. He get traded for a 5th-round pick, and the Browns send a 6th-round pick along with Joe Flacco to the Bengals. I know we ain't got no time to be waiting. Earl, what is your instant reaction on the trade?
Man, as the Cleveland Browns turns, my very first reaction was I couldn't remember offhand, but this is the second time under Jimmy Haslam's ownership that the Cleveland Browns have made an in-division trade. First time we've ever had a successful trade with the Cincinnati Bengals. Of course, you remember like I do. Hugh tried to slip on AJ McCarron in there.
AJ McCarron, right?
But, overall, I think it's a clear sign that the Cleveland Browns season is all but a wash. And now it's time to evaluate the rookie quarterbacks that you got back there. I don't want to hear nothing about Bailey Zappi coming up to being QB2. Dillon Gabriel, QB1. Shedeur Sanders, QB2. So kind of shocked behind it, a little bit, but at the same time, not surprised. Shocked because the way that the Browns moved all offseason and into the season, they made it seem like that he was here to be a mentor. They made it seem like that Joe was a part of the developmental process for the rookie quarterbacks. And then, he gets benched. Dillon Gabriel goes out there and was serviceable last week against the Vikings. And next thing you know, like he's traded. Somebody tweeted at me and said, man, Mike Brown must be desperate to trade with the Browns, seeing how his daddy used to do business.
Listen, the first thing I got with you with this Earl is I completely echo what you're saying. I come out of this thing confused because I'm sitting there thinking to myself, okay, we both was at training camp. From every single beat reporter, we were told that this was the playbook. We was gonna go with the veterans. It was Kenny Pickett that they said they liked. They was going into it, and then before the season, we got rid of Kenny Pickett for a 5th-round pick. We like Joe. Joe is our guy. Joe's the man. Whatever the case may be. Turns out that they weren't that sold on Joe Flacco after they saw the way he played. In my opinion, if they was going to do this, they should have went into the season with the same type of energy. Just go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off. If you like Dillon Gabriel and you want to figure out if he's the guy in Shedeur Sanders, I'm like this. Let me see what these young dudes is talking about and give them the opportunity to show and prove. And now we kind of backed our way into it. But I'm not going to complain because I think if I speak for myself, this is what people have been wanting to see anyway. We've been wanting to see the young dudes get an opportunity to start with.
It just goes to show that you can't really take anything that anybody says in that organization at face value. Jimmy Haslam came out, and said that the trade for Deshaun Watson was a mistake. Kevin Stefanski came out and said we're going to roll with Joe Flacco because the veteran quarterback gives us the best chance to win. You alluded to it. Me and you was both at training camp. But what's more alarming than that is they put in real work behind the scenes when the media is not there. And for them to kind of double down and triple down on Joe Flacco, seeing whatever they saw behind the scenes, ultimately just for this to be the situation at hand, it's clear that the Cleveland Browns wasted 4 weeks of evaluation on their quarterbacks. Like if this was going to be the case, you didn't have to sell the fan base on trying to be competitive. You didn't have to try to sell a fan base on everything that you did. You should have just kept it a buck, came out and said what it was, and moved on from there. And I think it would have had emotions like a lot lessen. It would have had tension a lot lessen. But the Cleveland Browns don't know how to move without drama. So here we are.
Hey, here we are. Look, we can say the Browns, we know how they move. They move funny style. You can't really pay attention what they're saying. But the one thing that I've always said on these airwaves on Ultimate Brown, UCSS, Barbershop, wherever I'm at, you said it on 92.3 The Fan. Listen, Ultimate 216, when them season games get to coming around, when them games get to happening and people is looking around on Sundays and you're taking L's and you're not getting a chance to see, we all know that the team was not good enough. We talked to Jason Lloyd. He's saying, well, the team wasn't good. Well, it's like, look, we knew that, but people don't be trying to hear that when the season be happening, Earl. We did a post-game show. It's only so much you can take to say, okay, we bad, but we're not really getting the opportunity to develop and see. And it's kind of like, it puts you in this position where I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but today we were on the show And both Dustin and Tyvis said something today that hit me tough. They was like, listen, ain't no quarterbacks in this draft coming to save you. Now, these are two college football analysts. They do Big Ten Network, ESPN. They watching all these dudes. Do you think that the Cleveland Browns could have been like, that quarterback in 2016, that might not be our savior. We might really need to evaluate and develop these two dudes we got because we don't know if we can just depend on having a surefire pick in 26.
Well, take it a step back, right? Because before Tyvis and Dustin said what they had to say today, shout out to y'all. That was a great show today. But you have been saying this all along. You can't come in here with no premeditated plan about how you're going to go about this season just so you can try to write the script on getting said quarterback that you want in 2026. It just don't work like that. It's too many variables that's outside of your control for that to even be your mindset. One, you got to be bad enough to get the number 1 overall pick. And if you're not, you better hope and pray to God that the teams that are worse ahead of you are not a quarterback needy team as well. And then 2, you got to let the collegiate football season play out. Everybody that they told us was a preseason projected top 5 quarterback, ain't none of them dudes really balled out. And I think I said this maybe 2 episodes ago on the Ultimate 216 show. Arch Manning need to take his behind back to school. Lenore Sellers need to take his behind back to school.
Yes.
If you ask me, the 2027 draft class is where it at. You're going to have Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Williams. You're going to have Arch Manning, hopefully Lenore Sellers. What the Cleveland Browns need to do, and it's not sexy, G, is take those picks in 2026 because they say that the trench play in this upcoming draft is just as good as the quarterback play. Get you some linemen, man, because clearly we are in a rebuild. Clearly we are revamping this roster despite anything the Cleveland Browns told us this past offseason. So if that's the case, develop your young guys that you got on this team. See what you got in either one of them, because to be honest with you, no matter how many games either one of them play this season, in my opinion, that is not a long enough evaluation process. So evaluate your quarterbacks, prepare yourself for what's coming forward. But I would take those picks, bro, and I'll probably draft linemen and wide receivers all day long and see what these young cats can do here.
Dang, listen, man, I mean, I didn't know you was going to be prepared like that. I didn't know you was coming like that, my brother. I mean, that's exactly, and I don't even like drafting linemen like that. I want the sexy receivers, but if you want to take a look at what we talk about on UCSS in the line play, if and the evaluation process is the problem, and they realize this, and they almost realized it a little too late. You could have been giving Shedeur Sanders and Dillon Gabriel reps the entire summer, the entire spring, all the training camp, all of the preseason games. And by now, you'd be at week 5 or 6, and you done seen, and you know how they play, you know what strengths they got, you know what it is. And now the difference between you being 1-5 that's seeing something with promise is different from you being 1-5 and you wasted all your reps on guys that ain't even on your team. The Las Vegas Raiders and the Cincinnati Bengals gained all your reps because your veterans are now playing for those guys. But you made a great point. You can't predetermine none of this. You can't predetermine what's going to happen and how you're going to move. We didn't know DeJuan Jones was going to get hurt. We didn't know any of that. But one thing that you can do is go with the entire youth movement and let it go ahead and play itself out. Because one thing you can do, though, people will give you grace. Think about the difference in the conversation we having. If you open the playbook up, you're playing Shedeur Sanders, you're playing Dillon Gabriel, and now you look like you got some promise with Judkins, with some of these other pieces and parts that you got. Now you got a different outlook going into next year rather than just playing it safe this year.
No, big facts, man. And I'll tell you another part of this, right? Because Chad Johnson tweeted this out. Get to Cincinnati and just throw the ball to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. I think this is going to be another evaluation process for Kevin Stefanski, because Joe Flacco looked like a statue here. Joe Flacco looked like a dude that no longer had that quote-unquote it factor to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. So if he goes to Cincinnati and he steps in there and he looks better than serviceable, that's a further indictment on Kevin Stefanski. I mean, Joe Flacco needed to go, right? He was responsible for 8 or 9 turnovers this season. I mean, things like that can't happen. I just wish that from the beginning of the time, like you talked about, G, the Browns would have just kept it a buck about what the plan is, or not even with the fans or with the media, but internally with themselves, because they didn't want to believe that they were in a rebuild. If you listen to everything that they said in the offseason, they didn't want to believe that what we are now was the case. And yeah, Jason and everybody else came out and said, well, this team is not good. But I'm like you, I got to evaluate this situation on a week-to-week, and basis. And just because we know in the fan base that we might not have a good team, that don't mean that we won't get emotional behind what we are seeing or lack thereof out there on that football field. We didn't expect our defense to come out here and be as good as it is coming into this season. And so that gave us some room to have some faith and hope. Okay, maybe this season is not a wash. Maybe this season is not a lost cause. And if we would have had better quarterback play, we'll probably have one or two more wins on our record for the season already. I think that being at 1-5, to your point, and you had one of these rookies starting from jump, that's more acceptable because you're going through the evaluation process. I just wish that they would have kept it a buck from the beginning about how everything was going to play itself out.
Listen, I like you and Chad Ochocinco over here cooking. You all right. This is what happens. Remember what I told y'all. Listen, man, when you start, man, one of my bosses used to tell me, you know, me and you, Earl, we worked regular jobs prior to this. We had jobs where you was punching in and doing stuff. And he said, the worst thing that you can ever do not bring no attention up in here. If you got a problem, bring it to me. Don't go everybody ring the alarm on somebody above us, because what's going to happen, they're going to come down here looking for, well, do you got everything in control? And the thing about Kevin Stefanski, when you start losing games and you start doing 4-20, it becomes, we would have overlooked a lot of stuff. Now we looking directly at you. And the thing is, Joe Flacco somewhere, and I said this earlier, he's somewhere jumping up for joy because he got T. Higgins, he got Jamar Chase, he got Brown. They got a Ferrari shell. All they need somebody to do is throw that football up. And you got to understand, it's in Ohio, it's in the division. You have to play them again. So if he looks like he's killing the game, it's going to be another evaluation that says, here's with Kevin Stefanski, here's without Kevin Stefanski. Just saying. Really quickly, Earl, because I know you got to get up out of here, right? We got. Listen, shout out to the father of the year. He was like, listen, Browns news breaks, I still go pick my children up every day. So shout out to him. We give him dad of the year. Shedeur Sanders.
Ain't trying to hear that.
Ain't trying to hear that. Hey, Shedeur Sanders, quarterback number 2. Really quickly, what's your thoughts on that? I said it better be Shedeur Sanders at 2. This Bailey Zappi conversation. Can we talk about that real quick before we get?
Yeah, man. I can't. You seen our homie Ken Carmen, man? He threw that bombshell out there that he heard a little birdie say that it might be Bailey Zappi at QB2. I ain't trying to hear that. You know what? I'm just gonna say it again. I am not trying to hear that crap. I ain't trying to hear it. I ain't trying to get with it. And if you want to trigger this fan base way more than what they already are, like, go ahead and throw Zappi out there. Keep playing with us if you want to. Under no circumstances should Shedeur Sanders not be QB2. He is a rookie quarterback on this roster that needs to be evaluated for the long term. We need to figure out if this man also has the what it takes to be the franchise quarterback here. I think he has sat quietly behind the scenes as much as he could when people wasn't putting cameras and microphones in his face, and he's been working hard. Kevin Stefanski alluded to that during his press conference in London, that Shedeur is doing every single thing that's asked of him, that they like the work that he's been putting in behind the scenes. He even talked about he takes full advantage of that extra set of reps that they get at the end of practice to get some work in. And so he always talk about it just being prepared for when that opportunity come so that he can take full advantage of it. And if you're going to move the veteran quarterback out of here, there is no reason whatsoever why Bailey Zappi should be ahead of him on the depth chart going forward.
Under no circumstances. Earl, I appreciate you, my guy. We will talk to you. Let them know what we got going on Ultimate 216, because it's going to be a hot and heavy week right now.
Yeah, big facts, man. Tomorrow on the Ultimate 216 show, it's going to be me and your homeboy Tyvis Powell, man. We're going to get a little bit more into the Joe Flacco conversation. We're going to play Keep Cut Trade, Cleveland edition, and we're going to talk about them Cleveland Cavaliers, man. They play their first preseason game tonight at home against the Chicago Bulls, man. Much love to everybody that support the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Thank y'all, man. Like, subscribe, and I wish I can stay longer, but duty calls.
I appreciate you, man. Earl the Pearl. We'll catch you on Ultimate 216 as always. When we get back, we're going to do this. We got to get to this, by the way. We're going to come back and we're going to get to it. What the heck are you talking about with Bailey Zappi? We'll finish that conversation and we'll get your thoughts in here as well. We're doing some special breaking news right over here. 1,921 people in here. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure you continue to support, and we'll come back right on the other side. You're listening to the Ultimate Browns. Every night delivers highlight-worthy performances, major momentum shifts, and can't-miss moments. Whether it's a game-winning shot or a breakout player, there's never been a better time to get in on the action. FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the game before tip-off and live with player props, performance trends, same-game parlays. Fans have more ways than ever to play smart and win big. Which players are showing up in the biggest moments, and how could tracking their trends help you build your next big bet? What would it look like to combine live prop bets mid-game based on how action unfolds? How could a $200 bonus in bonus bets add to the excitement if your first $5 bet hits? New to FanDuel? It's a perfect time to sign up. Head to FanDuel.com/UCSS and place your first $5 bet. If it wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. Welcome back to the fastest 30 minutes. It ain't even 30 minutes. Shout out to Earl the Pearl for pulling up on us. If you did not know, let's go ahead and get into the breaking news. If you're just pulling up somewhere and you don't know what's going on, let's give you this. We got it. This is per Adam Schefter. Browns are trading quarterback Joe Flacco and the 6th-round pick to the Bengals for a 5th-round pick. Now, guess what? Trades do not happen in the division all that much, but I'm going to tell you what. This just says a lot about where the Cleveland Browns are at this point. It says a lot about where the Cleveland Browns have come to the conclusion, and it says a lot about pressure and how pressure actually busts pipes. Now, before Earl the Pearl said it got left up out of here, we appreciate him for taking some time to come on the show to help break that down. We got to talk about this because, yes, that's the breaking news, but here's the problem, right? This is something that we're going to get to. Under no circumstances are we dealing with the noise, with the Bailey Zappi noise. I don't know if y'all trying to troll or something, but y'all done lost y'all's mind. Let me just make it clear. Anybody that's sitting here advocating, let me put this back up so we can get this together. Anybody that is advocating that we are playing Bailey Zappi over Shedeur Sanders is either 1, trolling, 2, straight up hating, or 3, a combination of both, or they just don't know football. Let me just tell you something. Bailey Zappi is a scout team player. He is a journeyman quarterback, fringe quarterback in the league. If you're telling me that this fringe quarterback, who also was on the roster last year, that they didn't see anything with, is now going to be a jettison above. Listen, you're telling on yourself now, folks. Now I'm skeptical to call people haters. Hating is a very strong word. I'm skeptical to call you hating. But if you're advocating and you're trying to play with me and you're trying to say to yourself, maybe they like Bailey Zappi too, maybe you just need to get over the fact that you just may not like Shedeur Sanders. Let's just keep it a buck at this point. Because we've been told that was Kenny Pickett and he got traded. And Joe Flacco, we saw he wasn't no good and they traded him. And now you advocated Tyler Huntley getting minutes. Now it's the Bailey Zappi red herring. Stop it. It's not funny. It's not cute. It's not intelligent, and you're telling on yourself. It's a lot. I'm waiting to see on Twitter. Please don't tell on yourself. Please tell me you just don't want Shedeur Sanders to play without saying it, because that's what you're saying. Because in no world, let's keep it real. Let me just state this factually. Bailey Zappi has never been better than Shedeur Sanders at anything ever in terms of quarterback play. Let's just throw that out there. Just start that right now. Let's just clear the air. Stop all the semantics. If he's ready, he's not ready. He's ready, he's not ready. Is he going to be ready? Let's just clear the air right now. Let's just be truthful right now. And one thing that really took place was, I would love to know if Jimmy Haslam said, I'm tired of playing the games. Because like I told y'all what it was going to happen. Get ready. Where are all the G. Bush is a clown conversation? If you're going to call me the clown, let me be Big Circus. Let me be Big Circus. For all the clown stuff that I done said, which clown comment was not correct? I'll wait. Put it in the chat. I was the one who laughed every host off the air. Kenny Pickett. You trying to sell me on Kenny Pickett? He won't play a game. Where are the throws for Kenny Pickett? Where are the high? Well, G. Bush, if it wasn't for his hamstring, he would have been. Stop. I told you, Flacco gonna play till week 10. That turned out to be not true. Y'all can do all that extra you want, but it's something about millions of people saying you play bad that kind of moves the needle along. And by the way, when you keep taking L's, it's whatever Kevin Stefanski and the Browns think starts to fall apart. Because whatever they think and thought has only been good for 4 wins out of the last, how many, 20-something odd? Who cares what you think when you can't score over 20 points? Who cares what you think? That's what tends to happen. People start to murmur. People start to look around. You start to hear your best player say, Well, it turns out it looks like Myles Garrett wasn't lying either. All you people talking about stay in line and do this and he needs to be quiet. He probably had a little insight to what was going on. So it's funny. We are here where we are today, boys and girls. The Cleveland Browns are here where we are at today. And we got here because you thought that you could lose and tank your way into this magic carpet ride. It didn't work. You thought you was going to lose into, I don't know how did you guys, so some of my brethren think they wordsmiths. Some of y'all think y'all thought y'all was the hottest thing jumping. How did you think you were going to advocate that the Cleveland Browns were just going to play either Flacco or play Kenny Pickett to 2 wins in a season, get a number 1 draft pick, not play no rookies, and then draft some more quarterbacks next year? How did you think that was going to work? How did you really think that was going to be prosperous? I just sat back and looked at y'all like, okay, well, you say that in the summer. We ain't got nothing to do in the summer. Ain't no games to watch now. Oh, yeah, it's just preseason. Y'all can say whatever you want. But when them games get to start hitting, it hit different. You start to look at them scores. You start to watch other people. You start to have some context to what's going on. Nasty work. Nasty work. I'm telling you. We're going to set some time. We got 272 comments here, 2,434 people. Hit the like button. Breaking news: the Cleveland Browns are now with 2 rookie quarterbacks. Let's get to this. Let me throw this out here. This is being reported by Bleacher Report. Throw this out here. Let me remove that. There you go. That's the one we wanted. They're asking a question. Bleacher Report says Shedeur is now Browns quarterback 2 after Flacco was traded to the Bengals, per Cameron Wolf. Now, I don't think I don't think this should have been earth-shattering. I don't know why it would be considered earth-shattering that Shedeur Sanders would be ahead of Bailey Zappi. But maybe it's just the mental gymnastics of it. It is. And to a certain extent, this shows two things. It shows that Shedeur Sanders has done enough for them to trade Joe Flacco. I'd love to be the person who said that had to happen. I want to say, who was it? Matter of fact, put it in the chat. Whose idea was it to trade Joe Flacco? Stefanski, Barry, or Jimmy Haslam? Put it in the chat. We're going to get to it. Whose idea was it to trade Joe Flacco? Because for them to trade Joe Flacco, somebody had to say, all right, enough is enough with this. Enough is enough. I mean, it's not like they got a fourth or third or second round pick. They ain't get none of that. They got, got something for them. Do not give me the Andrew Berry red eyes either. He did not get all that. I'll be acting like he got a second round pick. They did not get a second round pick. But whose idea was that? Because it says whoever said that was comfortable with him being the backup quarterback. And if he's the backup quarterback, that means you're one step away from playing. You're one step away. And let me just throw this out there too. Let me just say this. Hey, Shedeur, let me talk to you real quick. Let me holler at you real quick. It's time. It's time. Prime used to say, we coming. We coming. Nah, you here now. It's time. It's time. If you thought you had to lock in before, this is all time lock in. This is all time lock in. It's time to get to practice. You shouldn't be doing nothing but reading your Bible and the playbook. You got to be the Bible and the playbook. Locked in, focused. It's now time to get going. You need to be talking to your people. Get Jerry Jeudy. You need Jerry Jeudy to make you some plays. If Dillon Gabriel is in the building, you need to be in the building. I don't care if you got a carpool. Put a homing device on his car. Actually, don't do that. That's kind of creepy. But when Dillon Gabriel gets to the facility, oh, you right on his tail. I'm right there. Oh, you getting up? Yeah, I'm there too. If Dillon Gabriel want to eat supper in the facility, I'm right there. Whatever audibles he got, I need that. Matter of fact, you need to be beating down the doors. Hey, Kevin, Coach Stefanski, you're supposed to be having meetings with Kev, not the opposite way around. You're supposed to go get Kev. Tell him, Kev, hey, Kev, you ready for our meeting? What you mean? We already met. Nah, we going over my playbook. Not your playbook. My playbook. My playbook need to look a little different. Let me tell you what I'm comfortable with. But I'm gonna run your stuff though. But this like that X Jet 22 corner, I need that in the playbook, dog. You're supposed to, hey, do not let them trick you out of your position. I don't care if they call you every name in the book. You're supposed to be Stevie Wonder with it. I ain't seen nothing. Nope. You ain't getting me. Did you see what so-and-so? Nope. I don't even know. Matter of fact, I ain't even available like that. I gotta go. We not talking to nobody. We locked in. Because the real competition starts today. Starts today. Not tomorrow, today. Right now. I ain't saying you wasn't locked in before, but this a different level. Your shot is coming. Hey, Dillon Gabriel, I'm not just talking to Shedeur. You want to keep the job? 12 when you 12 he's chomping at your heels. You want to keep your job? You know what you do? You need to go in and drop 3-4 touchdowns on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Get your protection scheme together And that check down Charlie Brown ain't gonna get it done. You might need to make some plays. All that check down stuff ain't gonna get it done. That's not gonna keep 12 off the field. Steel sharpen steel, iron sharpen iron. You better be locked in. And I'm not talking about book knowledge. You better be making plays. If you thought you had to make plays at UCF, or you at UCF, you need to go back to the UCF Dillon Gabriel, where you didn't have the Oklahoma receivers, when you didn't have the Oregon Ducks scheme and the 4-4, 4-3 guys on the outside. You better go back to UCF and make them plays, because they ain't gonna come naturally. I want to see the competition. Best on best, good on good. Who got it? What's up? People actually, how does this change the outlook on the season? Oh, yeah. You better be rounding them up. It's time to go. All that old stuff where the veterans is ahead of you and this, that, and the third, and the offensive line. Don't nobody care who your offensive line is. Don't nobody care about that. It's all about competition. Don't tell me about the labor pains. Just show me the baby. That's it. I respect all the women. You know why? You know what you got to go through just to get life into this place? I respect every woman in the world. You know what you got to go through just to get a living person born? They don't care nothing about that circumstances. Them labor pains is 20, 30 hours. What we talking about? Y'all better listen. This is what it come down to. Now I'm excited. Now I'm ready. Now every game, and we start with the Pittsburgh Steelers, every single game I'm locked in because I want the competition. I want to see who inspired the most. I want to see who out here rallying the troops. I want to see who out here trying to keep a job. What's up? Good on good, best on best, skill on skill. What's up? That's what we talking about. We ain't talking about your quarterback in 26. And you know how y'all can shut these dudes up? See, G. Bush can tell you for them. I can't keep them off of you. All I can do is say, giving you the opportunity. It's up to you to do what you got to do with it. Huh? What you gonna do with it? Because sometimes in life you get one shot. And past that, you just back to Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz was the number 2 overall pick, but guess what? He got hurt at the end of an opportune time. He could have won an MVP, but guess where he was at? Hurt. He was playing MVP caliber ball, but Nick Foles came and got that bag. In life, sometimes you're going to get one shot, one chance. And history don't care nothing about your circumstances. Did you make the play or did you not make the play? Now we talking about the stuff I want to talk about, which is what's going on in that field. Not the quarterbacks in 26, not the dome, not about what Kevin Stefanski wants to run, not about what the draft choices next year looking like. I'm talking about wins, losses, and what's popping. The competition has started. 2,716 people in here. Let's cook. I'm going to go to the, listen, this is like a radio show for me. Let's go to the phones. Let's get to the phone line. 2165. Never mind. I'm not going to throw the number out. 216 holler at G Bush. That's what the lines is going to say. When we get back, we get to your conversation. You listen to the Ultimate Browns right here on UCSS Network. First and foremost, shout out to Earl the Pearl. Make sure you check out Earl the Pearl, Ultimate 216. He's on tomorrow with Tyvis Powell. They're going to be breaking this down. Cavs play tonight as well. Make sure you check him out and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything. Oh, by the way, Cavs season is coming up. Ultimate Cavaliers, first preseason game tonight. Mikey McNuggets is in the building. We got Lonzo Ball, Larry Nance Jr. We got some new ball players, and you know what it is. We got Do-Rag Mobley. We even got the other DG, Darius Garland, look like he come back. But I told people this year, Donovan Mitchell for MVP. We're going to talk about that too. Make sure you check it out on the Ultimate Cavaliers. And of course, the big homie himself, G Bush. Make sure you check him out Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on UCSS, the barbershop. And of course, right now you're listening to him, right? Subscribe. Make sure you get it on the Ultimate Browns. And don't forget, you can only get it in one place right here on the UCSS Network. Welcome back to the fastest 30 minutes in all of sports. We overtime. If you did not know, now you know. Guess what? Cleveland Brown trade Joe Flacco for a 5th-round pick. They give the Cincinnati Bengals a 6th-round pick, and Joe Flacco unites with T. Higgins. Unites with Jamar Chase. I bet you Joe Flacco was waking up like, what the heck? I'm the luckiest dude in the world. I done messed around and fell into heaven. I got playmakers, ball players, and I think I get a chance to come back. I got benched by the Browns. I think he gets an opportunity to play the Browns later on this year in Cincinnati. So that should be fun. We'll see how that works. Let's get to some of your comments. Let's see where we're going. This is crazy. Super chats is jumping, and you know how we give it up here. Let's talk to him. What we got? Let me take this down so y'all can see. We're going to get to the super chats ready to go. Well, let's go. Let's get to him. Let's start with Aggie Fury. When you look at the rest of the league, now it's time to test your rookie quarterbacks. The bar is low with win records in the NFL. Time to test them. I like what you said right there. Think about it in our division. Lamar Jackson out here, out. Joe Burrow, out. Look at the rest of some of these teams out here. It's a lot of people. Patrick Mahomes them is taking L's right now. Right now, it's a great opportunity to put your team out there. And by the way, you look at it, I'm not saying no game is easy, but the schedule is manageable if on paper. But it's more it's a good as time as any to see what you got going on. Zach says, thank you so much for the super chat as well. Aggie Fury. Zach says, so what do we say if Flacco balls out in Cincy, but often still struggles to put up points, assuming we see both QBs? Well, you know already, you know what it is, Zach. It's a beautiful question. I've been saying all along, one of the reasons why people fight so hard to put rookies in is because when you have a rookie, you don't really got that many built-in excuses, because the game plan is you're supposed to help rookies out a little bit, right? And the second you put them in, we're going to start to see whether or not, hey, are you helping them out? Are you being super conservative? And now you get to see if Joe Flacco in Cincinnati, now people will say, well, look at the exponential weapons. But Joe Flacco looked like a statue here. Joe Flacco looked like he couldn't throw the ball more than 10 yards here. If he's throwing the ball downfield there, it's going to tell you exactly what you need to know. It's a feature of the offense, not necessarily whether Joe can play or not. It is what it is. AG, all pressure is on Dillon Gabriel. No respect. But if he goes 1-7, they will be forced to put Shedeur in the game. Also, them seats will be empty. That's why I tell you, DJ, why you think I gave Shedeur Sanders that little pep talk? Don't give him a reason. You one step from a plan now. All that extra stuff they did last week about miming and stuff, they would just have to be mad at me. I'm not talking to y'all. Don't text me. Don't call me. I'm no solicitors. I would have no solicitors right there on my little my little locker. I'm sorry. I'm the backup this week. Don't talk to me. You're not tricking me out of nothing. You're not tricking me. I ain't talking to none of y'all. It's playbook and the Bible. Listen, Dillon Gabriel, like I said, he played solid the first week. We gonna see. Pressure's on. Who won it? Who won it? This is what football about. Who do you think made the call to trade Joe? Set apart last. I'm gonna tell you. Listen. I'm gonna tell you who I think it was. I'm a marketing major. And one thing that tends to happen a little bit is ownership's ears is a little more keen to the outside noise than inside. And I think they're like, look, man, no, we're not going back to Joe. Because you remember that talk. Well, if Dillon go do it, if he goes down, Joe is the backup. Nah, we're not doing that. We're not about to do that. Like you trying to set up. No, that's not what we're gonna do. Now, what they'll sell it is, well, Shedeur showed us some strides and he's getting better, and we really think it's a testament to what he's been doing behind the scenes. No, listen, Shedeur can throw the football. He showed in one game with no reps. Let's stop all that acting, all that capping. Reality of the situation is somebody was like, I told you he was going to play before the season. I told you. So let's see it. And I don't think that's Stefanski, to be truthful. But I also don't think, and this is also what I always get to, you lose, your voice diminishes when you don't play well. Because you are the leader of the offense, and the offense looks so bad. And there were time management. People all across the stratosphere was talking about how bad the clock management was. People was hot. And and guess what? With Jimmy, you week to week on your clout and your voice. I feel his voice was diminished in that front office. So it was like, yeah, before we would listen to you, but we 1-5. We 4-20 something. Yeah, we don't care what you want. We about to see these rookies play. Vigilant Hawk, I like the name. I think they believe that 12 is either the starter or not on the team. 8 is in the hand selected back. 8 is the hand selected backup. He's getting extra time to prepare. Thoughts? That is I wouldn't, that's a very, I like that nuanced way you thought about that. I believe that 12 is either the starter or not on the team. I do think this. I don't think Shedeur Sanders, he don't got the makeup for a backup quarterback. And that's not a bad thing. You as a starter, you can't think of yourself as a backup. That is the reason why franchise quarterbacks are franchise quarterbacks, because they think they're special. They think that they can do things and see things better than you can, or even the coaching staff. They have something that you can't coach. It's the reason why the Bengals got $1 billion roster on offense, and they're like, we got to find somebody to throw the ball to these dudes. You got to think that way. I do think that they're going to give him an opportunity to prepare the runway. And the thought is, soak up all you got. He's on scout team. He's going against Denzel Ward, Greg Newsome, Myles Garrett. They need something special. And in this case, it will be undeniable at that point. Because if he does perform admirably, nobody can say they gave him anything. He didn't get reps. He was on third string. He was the emergency quarterback. At that point, at the end of the year, they gave Dillon Gabriel all the opportunity to keep the job. At that point, if he comes in and plays well with all of the limitations of the offense and the receivers, it'll be undeniable at that point, because he did it in a way that nobody gave him nothing at all. So I think that's a point that you think about as well. Ms. Bell, you've been 100 all along. I must say, Ms. Bell, we have been vindicated slightly. We have been vindicated. I'm not here to toot my own horn. I was wrong about a lot of different things. I said Deshaun Watson was going to get 4,500. He ain't getting nowhere near them 4,500, but it's okay. But when it comes to come on, man, they should have been doing this from Jump Street. This is even more of an indictment of Kevin Stefanski wasting these reps. I told you, Renell Jackson, you're wasting time. Don't waste no time. You wasted time with these reps. Stop playing. Gabriel Knucklebrew, thank you so much for the super chat. Gabriel Watson Sanders, let's freaking go. Embrace chaos, baby. Let's embrace that. Let's embrace that chaos because it's coming. Sonic of the Chaos crystals. Chaos brings a little bit of competitor out of you, don't it? Sir Big Circus, Damon Hayward. Yes, put some respect on the big circusness. It's big circus. All that clown behavior I was talking about before, how much of a clown was it? Seemed I was speaking some facts. Doggy Bone, Barry, G. Bush. I won't be surprised if Shedeur starts against the Steelers. They done moved the timetable all the way up to the Steelers. Y'all crazy. Listen, by the way, the world, I'm going to tell you this. Regardless, if Shedeur Sanders plays poorly in his first start or he plays good in his first start, the world is going to stop for about a microsecond. If you thought the internet was crazy down, wait till then. Barry G. Bush, I won't be surprised if Shedeur starts against the Steelers. Already using him for media profit. Steelers was favored to draft him. Imagine if Schefter released the news out of nowhere. Breaking news. Internet would go crazy. I would even be like, dang, Dillon, he ain't even play that bad yet. He ain't even play that bad, bro. I thought he was solid. They didn't got you up out of there like that. That'd be wild work. I think Dillon Gabriel got a longer leash. Dillon gonna get 3-4 more games easy, especially if he win one of them. Right, look good. Like he gonna get some work. He gonna get some work. But I will. The timetable for Shedeur Sanders has exponentially moved up, much to the dismay of a lot of people. Miss Bell, thank you. You said no to trade Shedeur talk. I sure did. I had sent a cease and desist to a mini old blogger. Even though those who like and listen to G. Bush, I said, I love you to death, but I can't do it. No. If he's going to ball, and he's going to play for me, and I'm going to see it first before anybody see it. You said be patient. You said if Shedeur was okay, everyone else should be. Tell Aditi Shedeur still working towards quarterback one. I think she might, she's working. Shout out to Aditi, by the way. Somebody tell Diana Rossini things are getting weird. The weirdness is happening amongst us. Real weird, real strange. The weird stuff happened. Think about it. They done traded him to the Bengals. I always tell people, things have a way of moving. Joe Burrow gets hurt. Bengals then sign everybody they done signed. T. Hendrickson, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. They done paid all that bag of money. Under no circumstances is we about to tank this season. We need every coin in them and coming through them turns house. Them texts they getting through here with our fan base. Just so happens. Lamar Jackson hurt. Patrick Mahomes, them looking nasty. It's a weird season, isn't it, Miss Rossini? Things getting real weird around here. I ain't gonna put the wrist up yet, but it's getting strange. Spooky even. Trade out. I say Barry. Because I remember after the Panthers game, he came down and told Shedeur he did a great job. He also told him, hey, calm down. Be cool. Shedeur was hugging him and stuff. He was real uncomfortable. He's like, listen, that is not how we do it in the Ivy League. He was hugging him like, yeah, I just playing with you, dog. Hey, what's up, Andrew? I heard you got a twin and stuff. He'd be like, stuff. You stop it on these sidelines. You be doing too much, but you played good, though. I didn't know you had all that. I did, but I didn't. You didn't get no reps, but some of them throws. By the way, that's the best offensive playbook I've seen. He was with Davis and Laverdane and the hot saucers. This city will riot if Deshaun Watson gets activated and starts a game before Shedeur. No, that's not going down. That ain't happening. Let me tell you this. Here's what I think. I think Deshaun Watson in a whole nother space. He done turned to the Lord. He done got married. He done got his bag. I've always said this. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. They done already talked to Deshaun Watson. Hey, listen. The league already done sanctioned us. They done put us on the blacklist for a minute. They told us not to give you that. By the way, I was right on that too. The big circus himself. I told you about the collusion. Everyone, oh my gosh, G. Bush with his tinfoil hat, and he's always conspiracy theorist. Turns out I was right about that. Shout out to, shout out to my people over there, Mike Florio. I mean, he broke it down. I just let other people say it. When I said the quarterback wasn't in 26 and people said I was hating, I just had to let Dustin and Tyvis say it because G. Bush just a little old Mac dude who dress and flaps. He's a scarecrow. I just had to let them say it. But if you listen, sometimes this little dude over here, I mean, I'll be knowing a little bit. But I told you, I think if they say, Deshaun, you coach him up, you'll be a good soldier. Don't you be talking about playing. You stay out of trouble. What we're going to do, the syndicate is going to allow you to start your career somewhere else. Don't even worry about it. We'll give you it's funny how that works. Jameis Winston, people didn't like him, but he keep getting jobs. You know why? It's about the syndicate, whether or not. Now, if you're going to pull Colin Kaepernick, see, this is why we can't have nothing nice, because you always mentioning stuff. You get people on your side. They think you, and then you start saying truthful things like that. But you be playing around. Can't stand you. Miss Bell, hey, weird. Been waiting for you. Kirk Davis, there you go. You talk about that quarterback in 26. It's funny how you start to coach for your job. Our coach might be in 26 too. I'm just saying. Damon Hayward, fire Kevin, hire Eric Enemy, keep Schwartz. Reese does pass plays. Eric Bieniemy does the run plays and discipline. Then still top 5 offensive linemen, practice squad players from the other team. You got yo Madden. You ready to take over a franchise in Madden 26 tomorrow. All you got to do, remember back in the Madden where you used to just sign up a bunch of the old free agents and they still would be in like the high 80s. It usually always be like Richard Seymour, somebody that was good, but they make too much money. You sign them and then trade them and they retire immediately. You get first round picks. Maybe I just know about that. My man Damon said, get them likes up. We need them. 2,878. I'm going to see, I'm giving y'all that. See, let me just tell y'all. G. Bush give y'all that live stream feel. Listen, I'm the first sports live streamer, right? I give you your money's worth. When y'all pull up, I give you your money's worth. I don't be reading on fast. We gonna kick back. Listen, get you a cup, pull up. We one of the first live streamers. My joints be like hours, right? So if you come in and you don't know, we gonna give you your money's worth, bro. Get them likes up though. If you ain't got the super chat money, it's okay. But the best way you can get in and love what we doing is a like and a comment in the comment section. That's good enough currency for me. You know why? Because it gets the content to like-minded Browns fans and people who want to see this content. We appreciate you. Oh, yeah. Kirk, hey, the weirdness is happening. Stranger things. Stranger things. They treat my dude 12 like he a my player career. 2K. You know how they got them cutaway scenes? All right, Shedeur. It's your opportunity. You go out and throw for 4 passes over 15 yards, you'll get a Gatorade deal. And you get to talk to Spike Lee outside the locker rooms. I'm on 2K, guys. 2K15 was goated, by the way. 2K10, actually 2K10 through 16, 17, it was just the days. Busy enough said, thank you so much for the super chat. Gee, what happened to the Jaguars pick that we was talking about? Things that make you go, All that talk, that Jaguars pick. That Jaguars pick. You got to say with your face. That Jaguars pick, G. Bush. About to have that Jaguars #1 overall. And then the Browns going to tank. And then they're going to have the #3 overall. Then we can get Arch Manning. And we'll take Arch Manning's little cousin, Starch Manning. Arch Manning, Starch Manning is an impact left tackle. He agile, but don't got no body parts that's muscular. With the 3rd overall pick, the Cleveland Browns have taken Arch Manning, little cousin, Starch Manning. He's only 5'8" right now, but we're projecting him to be the next Tony Baselli, Anthony Munoz type. You know why? Because his last name is Manning. But is he in college? No. He's 6, but his name is Manning. And the Dome, by the time the Dome get ready for us, by the time the Dome here, we're going to be ready to go. We got to tackle for Arch. It's Starch Manning. Our offensive tackles in 29. This is why they don't like you. They can't stand you. Never give G. Bush breaking news. Don't listen. Maybe everybody was tied up. They should never give G. Bush breaking news. Because now I don't got no format. I just be talking. Grocery is punching the air right now. Boys in the hood. I'll knock them out. Rock them soccer robots. Titan, thank you so much for the super chat. Stardust. G. Bush, what do you think about the new theory that the Browns are trying to take credit? Oh, yeah. Listen, shout out, I can't even give him that theory. This is Jonathan Peterlin. Works cited. Jonathan Peterlin, I was doing a show with him on 92.3 The Fan, and he said, you know what I don't like, G. Bush? Is that Kevin Stefanski in the front office is going to sit here and try to act like they're going to take credit if Shedeur Sanders is actually good when he already came with that. They was just actually not respecting his gangster and not respecting that he had the skill set and didn't want to play him. And then they going to act like it was us being patient with Shedeur. It was us showing Shedeur what it is to be a perfect. And stop it. Jonathan Peterlin been talking about that for a minute. Nah, don't act like you reacclimated him. Don't act like you just gave him some therapy and all of a sudden now Kevin Stefanski really, actually, to be truthful, it was really Kev that really honed and sharpened his skills. Yeah. Get ready for that too. Stardust, I'm glad you're ahead of the learning curve. You already know. If you know, you know. Perk, I think they're going to trade Sanders when they get the right offer. I mean, if they want to see things get crazy, I mean, you put yourself. Kevin Stefanski felt the pressure so much that he had to trade Joe Flacco, which was the backup, because they had all intents and purposes of saying, let's go back to Flacco or whatever. If you trade Shedeur Sanders without seeing him, that's a nail in Kevin Stefanski's play. That's a nail in his time in Cleveland. I actually think that is a fireable offense. And I actually think that the owner, knowing good and well, probably, in my opinion, was probably one of the people saying that, no, we need to go ahead and see these young dudes. So he actually told you that both of them are going to play. Why would you do that? Why? It would serve you no purpose. What up, G? My wife is heated because she's a Bengals fan. I'm glad to. I am glad being a Browns fan. My question is: if Flacco come here and balls out, what do you say about the coaching in the land? Reggie Bug Glover, you know what I'm gonna say. Same thing I said before he left here. Stefanski's playbook is trash. It's one of the worst. I think he's conservative. I think he's checked down Charlie. I don't like the imagination in his playbook. And I think that is another sign that, guess what? Playbook ain't really. It's going to show. It's levels to this. So you meaning to tell me they got more out of Joe Flacco there? Now, mind you, people will say, well, of course you got T. Higgins, you got Jamar Chase, but it's not about that. It's about when Joe Flacco was here the first time, there was a willingness to throw the football downfield, a willingness to put it in the air. I think I think Stefanski coaches the teeth out of every quarterback, and you need teeth. Like the game isn't won in keeping the ball safe. The game is won 15 to 25 yards. Can you hit those plays or not? Because after a while, Quinshon Judkins is not going to be able to run through 10 people at the line of scrimmage because that's what's coming if you can't throw the intermediate routes. Only time this team has scored 20 this year, 12 was in. Facts. That is factual. Shedeur will make Judy look like a number one receiver, Leo King Jones. Here's one thing, and I've always told people, to make that happen, what you should do is just go be about it. You should go talk to him like, yo, you should be building a relationship right now. Hey, if I throw you a back shoulder, if I see man-to-man coverage, be ready for the deep ball. Be ready. I'm coming to you. 3, coming to you. Eye contact. That's what you need. Somebody need to develop a chemistry where it's like, I know you, you know me. What we going to do? Let's make plays. Damon Hayward. Anybody checked on Mel Kiper? Mel Kiper somewhere hooking up. Mel Kiper somewhere in the kitchen doing his dance. I told you so. I told you so. We're going to see. We're going to see. Busy enough said, Joe was Kevin's guy. Shedeur plays after the Steelers. That's even quicker than I thought. I think Andrew Berry is trying to flip low draft picks to high ones for a full-scale reload. Time to rest the rookies now. Hey, Vernell Jackson. Hey, McNuggets. Vernell Jackson in the super chat said, get Sean King on for tomorrow's show right now. Said, put him on. He needs to be on the show. Jossol. Y'all had somebody with chemistry with Judy. Y'all let Stefanski scapegoat him. Mm-hmm. They got Dorsey up out of here, didn't they? Kev, note to self. Open the playbook up. Open it up. It's time. It's time. Yo, G. Mike Burns. Yo, G. Do you think the trade could also possibly spell the beginning and the end for Kevin? Also, I'm seeing green chatter. I've been seeing green chatter. Here's the thing. I think this opens up a couple of things. It could be the best of times or the worst of times. I've always said that the best thing that Kevin Stefanski could do was to get one of these quarterbacks look like a starting quarterback. If he can do that, he writes himself a ticket. If he struggles with both quarterbacks, and he struggled with Deshaun Watson, and he struggled with Flacco, and he struggled with Gabriel, and he struggled with Baker, and DTR, once you continue to keep cycling through quarterbacks of all different shapes, sizes, skill sets, and he struggles and your offense looks the same no matter who it is, it's going to come back to you. But it could save his job, ironically, because guess what? These guys, he's going to get credit. If Shedeur Sanders balls out, not only does Shedeur Sanders play well, he's going to get credit. So that's the double-edged sword when it comes to one of the young guys playing well. Mike Burns, Gruden chatter. I don't know, man. I don't know. Gruden, we'll see if he went to – Gruden, put it to you like this. Gruden had a lawsuit against the NFL. And soon the NFL don't get you much. I know of one person who sued him, and that was that was Colin Kaepernick. He ain't played no more. I don't know if Gruden is going to get a job. It's up to Roger Goodell to see how he's going to move with that, but it's tough. You know, the syndicate will play with you and get you up out of here. With that being said, we want to appreciate you guys, 2,756 people live watching right now. I need y'all to hit the like button. If you like this content, Tuesdays, 5 p.m. right here. Ultimate Browns, it just got interesting. If you want Browns content, it's going to be interesting from here on out. Dillon Gabriel is going to Pittsburgh. Shedeur Sanders is number 2 quarterback. Can Kevin Stefanski get this offense ready to go? Can the Browns pull off some upsets down the backstretch? This is going to be must-see TV, must-watch TV. And if you want to get what you need to get, you got to be dialed into the Ultimate Browns and the UCSS network. You know what it is, the first live streamer. I'm the first live streamer. We go hours over here. Let's keep it up. Hit the like button. If you can't super chat, that's okay. Hit the like button for your boy. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. And that is payment enough because it gets the content out to the rest of the world. With that being said, you never know where G. Bush might show up, especially on breaking news, radio, television, internet, whatever. But if you on the Fresh Cut on Sports, I keep the clippers. You see the barbershop sign open in the back. Have a great rest of your evening. And first and foremost, it's always, even if I'm mad at them, go Browns.